I'd retired and I heard him speaking on the ABC about running a program for older women, and how in actual fact he said he was convinced that he could return strength to my age, which was then 60. So I thought, well, here's a go. And so he had a meeting, and all women were at the meeting, but I couldn't go. My husband had to go, and he felt thoroughly intimidated. But Eric, in actual fact, was his conviction that he was right was what that drove the program. His other aspect that was very good was that he said, I'm doing a research program, but I'm not doing it to use you as guinea pigs and then say goodbye. I'm here to continue it on. And of course what he did with us women, it was really remarkable. By 6 months into it, we said, don't worry about the measurements. We know it's doing us good. We find that we could walk upstairs, we could climb up hills, I could hang the washing out without my arms. We knew in 6 months that he was on that particular right step. And of course when it concluded, we wouldn't leave him. We'd just hang on to him like bees around the honey. He had given us a new aspect to life, and on one hand we were angry. Why didn't anyone tell us that growing old doesn't mean to say you start to lose strength at the rate that we were told that you did? Why didn't they tell us women that if we could go to a normal gym and learn how to protect our health? So we were absolutely grateful to Eric. What he then did, he said, well, go out and tell the world. So myself and, see my memory, and this poster lady, and we went and joined the powerlifting. Well, when we walked in, there were only men there, 2 women, and the trainer. And we said, well, we can lift weights. Eric's told us we can. We want to show the world that we can. And we were ostracised. The men in that gym said wouldn't have a bar of us, but the coach did. And so we went into a competition. We thought it was hysterical. We just did what Eric told us to do, and we didn't realise that we were remarkable. Remarkable because what Eric was showing the world, that there's a different aspect to health education. So we have a lot to owe, and now that next year I'll be 80, so it's 20 odd years, it's in actual fact helping me in all ways to understand what the training is, to adapt it to each stage of life. So whereas before I could lift 140 a dead weight, I don't even try now. I know the technique, I know it does me good, and we will continue to do it until we have to push the lid off. Well, what in actual fact, when we started, I could just lift 40 k's up here, at the end, which was pretty good. By the time that we went with the training, I could do 140. And squatting, Eric was always very fond of squatting. Yes. And in squatting, I could just do, 40. I ended up with 121. And the benches, let's not talk about the benches. They're the small muscles.
And powerlifting.
And it was powerlifting, yes. So we went to Czechoslovakia 7 years ago, and I got second. But there was no 60-year-olds. I was 60, coming on 70. I was coming on 70, but they only recognised women to 50 plus. So now that's changed. And just for your information, in powerlifting, the competitions that are going on have escalated, and there's always about a minimum of a quarter are young women. So there's a whole change of attitude that and do they look beautiful? They're not muscly looking, they're in actual fact very healthy women. You don't get big muscles as females unless you get on the juice. Other than that, you have the nice arms, and nothing makes me madder when I see this girl and say,
I want nice little arms. I said, well, what the bloody hell's going to lift up a cup? We're going to get muscle.
So it has changed, and Eric really does have a big part in that, and he contributed, and with his research and his endurance to ensure that we didn't give things up, we do owe, and so does the whole of the training for health for women and for men as well.
And what he wanted was women over who were into post-menopausal women who would practice and see if it was possible to increase your bone density instead of losing it. So those of us who took it on included, and we did that for a year. We had to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. Gordon and I were great outback travellers, so often finding a gym was difficult. When we were being selected, we went to the RMIT for the information night as the steps are down, and I can still remember these 2 women sitting beside me. Well, I'm not really. I'm almost menopausal, post-menopausal, as if to say, you know, well, tomorrow I'll be pregnant. I'm so sure of them that they were going to get their teeth. So we took it on, and wherever we went, I can remember one of the gyms said, one of the guys said, you can't do that, you'll break. And this was a gym instructor. Another one was these 2 women. I went into another gym, and that was reception. This was where the women did it, and if you wanted the weight, you had to go where the men practiced. So I was there in time to go twice. So the second time, they apparently came back to the desk and said, why can't we do what she's doing? So it's really, like all of us who participated, he just put that label on our lives. And as I say, I go to Watermark now. I do my Dizzy Day clinic for my balance, which is nothing to do with Watermark, and then I do my warm-ups that Eric taught us. So I've got a lot to tip my hat to Eric.